Good morning, everybody. My name's Gary Lanker, and I am the Executive Director of Tri-County Housing Development Corp. We are a nonprofit and the designated community housing development organization, not only here in the city of Harrisburg, but in Dauphin County and Cumberland County. I have a number of folks with me standing behind us, so we'll be introducing primarily my counterpart with Habitat for Humanity of Greater Harrisburg, Yinka Ade-Suboken. Today is a day of celebration, and it's a day of celebration on a number of fronts. First of all, June is Home Ownership Month in our country. It's National Home Ownership Month. And what better way to celebrate that than having the construction of these three homes? I had the privilege of many years ago meeting the late U.S. Senator John Hines, and every time that he would get in front of a group of his housing constituency, he would always talk about housing in a very poetic fashion. And what he would say is, housing is the indispensable mortar that holds the bricks of our society together. Now just think about that. I'm going to repeat it. Housing is the indispensable mortar that holds the bricks of our society together. And the mission of the two organizations coming together here is providing affordable housing here in the city. The other celebration is we have two nonprofit organizations, Tri-County HDC and Habitat for Humanity of Greater Harrisburg, working together. And I will tell you, I think that is rather historic that two nonprofits come together for a common good. So many times we are playing in the same sandbox and trying to acquire funding from the same sources, so this is a very unique opportunity. Not too many years ago behind us were blighted, abandoned homes, and through the efforts of a lot of folks, Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, the Dauphin County Commissioners, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Pittsburgh, and the City of Harrisburg, we were able to remove this blight. And we have built from 2008 through 2013, 10 new homes, 7 on this side of Swatara Street, and if you go around the corner to 16th, 3 more. And we actually just sold this last home about a month ago, so it's perfect timing to help assist and stimulate with this next effort. I had this idea and reached out to Yinka about 1.5 years ago, and I said, what about us working together and trying to accomplish something for the good? And that's what we talked about. And from there, Yinka took the initiative to reach out through his National Habitat affiliate and put an application in to assist us with even greater help. And that was through the Woods Memorial Presbyterian Church, faith-based group from Severna Park, Maryland. The Woods Memorial, or Woods Work is their name. And out of that, they selected us. They came here to Harrisburg several times. We had meetings with a number of their adult leaders, but they selected us over Charleston, South Carolina, and Cincinnati, Ohio, to come here. We have 160 people that are here through next Thursday, 120 youth and 40 adults that are going to build these 3 homes in 5 days. Our organization, Tri-County Housing, we got the foundations in, we got all the material ordered and delivered as you see here, and the other major group is down at the Habitat Reuse store down on Paxton Street. What's that address? 800 Paxton Street, in that parking lot, and there's quite a crew down there right now framing up, panelizing the walls in 12-foot sections, and they're going to be delivering them here. So there's a lot that's going to happen from now through next Friday. So I'm going to introduce a number of folks that have a few comments. First, if I may, Dauphin County Commissioner George Hartwick III. He's going to say a few words. George.
Thanks, Garrett. Where are we at? Good morning, everyone. You know, the idea of bringing together an opportunity block by block to recreate a community takes long-term planning, dealing with significant complicated issues, blight, infrastructure concerns, and it doesn't happen without partners. And today's an indication of what actually can happen block by block when we have individual housing organizations that are working towards the same mission, that come together and pool resources. When the city of Harrisburg and Dauphin County come together and figure out ways to make investments into properties and reuse. And when we have volunteers who are from a faith-based community that understand that when we stand out of our own way and are driven by our belief and our purpose, that we can and will truly make a difference in the lives of those that we serve. And for the individuals that are here, the youth, for the adults, there will be no more memorable opportunity than receiving in the ability to give. And I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for your faith. Thank you for your toils and hard work. And thank you for allowing us to have this blitz of housing to be able to complete a project that's been going on since 2008. I believe that Gary Lanker, since he has been obviously on various boards for us, he's the housing director, the HDC executive director. He's involved in many projects from Susquehanna to Steelton and the city of Harrisburg. With his experience as a private builder and being able to build relationships rather than figure out a way to compete for dollars just to support administrative costs, will allow for those residents that are looking and deserve the ability to have affordable housing to actually achieve that in our region. And I want to thank Gary for his leadership, not only here, but in every municipality throughout Dauphin County, and also his ability now to be reappointed to the Pennsylvania Housing and Finance Board puts Dauphin County in a position to compete for some really competitive housing tax credits, which are necessary in a lot of these redevelopment initiatives as a primary source of tax credits and funding. So thank you, Gary. I'd also like to thank Yinka. It sounds like we are on a road tour, he said, around Dauphin County with talking about redevelopment and housing. As we think about, God doesn't make any more green earth. And as we talk about trying to expand into other areas that are in farmland and they are not developed, we should be thinking as a community, where is the infrastructure? How can we do redevelopment? How can we redirect those resources into our urban areas to be able to ensure that we have a future that allows for our children and our grandchildren to be able to enjoy green space by also at the same time ensuring that we have a quality, affordable housing for residents who choose to live in the communities like Harrisburg, Steelton, Susquehanna, Middletown. Everybody deserves the opportunity to knock on a door and understand you got the key to open it, both children and parents. And the idea of realizing home ownership should be an American value and dream. That shouldn't be afforded to some, it should be afforded to all, regardless of socioeconomic status, and the ability to get back on your feet, the ability to contribute to our community and society. And when we take block by block back, I've been on this block on 3 different occasions doing community-wide cleanup, cleaning up beds, cleaning up other materials, and now we have affordable housing with people who will own their own homes and will have a vested interest in this block because the police can't solve all the problems. Folks can't come and clean up multiple times, but when you own the block and when you look out for the block, you are the ones who are going to make the difference, not necessarily the government entity. So today we're making an investment in people. We're making an investment in a community, hopefully block by block. And we're also demonstrating that by working together, particularly with housing authorities and other nonprofits, with faith-based communities, and with the city of Harrisburg, that we can and will make the dream of affordable home ownership a reality in the city. Thank you for all the partners, and we appreciate the opportunity to come here and celebrate with you today. I just have to read one final piece to our proclamation. I won't go through it all, but therefore we join with the 275,000 residents of Dauphin County in saluting Tri-County HDC and Habitat for Humanity for organizing the Building Blitz. We applaud all those helping to make this wonderful event and home ownership possible. And we are pleased and proud to proclaim today, June 22nd, 2018, as Mount Pleasant Building Blitz Day in Dauphin County. Thank you very much.
I would be remiss if I wouldn't have acknowledged that this wouldn't have happened if we wouldn't have been able to provide the Woodworks group with housing. And it was something that Yinka and I worked on jointly, and he was able to acquire the West Shore Christian Academy. Is housing these 160 people, and really it would not have happened if we couldn't have found the housing. So I thank you for that, Yink, and we were able to get that accomplished. You know, it's budget time in Pennsylvania, so there's a lot going on in the state capitol, and unfortunately, Mayor Pappenfuss was called to the Capitol for some budget discussions, but we're happy to have his Director of Economic Development, Jackie Parker, here on his behalf, and she's going to say a few words. Jackie, please come up. Thank you.
Good morning. On behalf of Mayor Pappenfuss and the City of Harrisburg, I first want to welcome this army of teens to Harrisburg. I know some of them are working, so they can't hear speeches, but they're working hard, and I'm very thankful that you're here to accomplish these last 3 homes that we need to have done. And I want to just, keep going with the theme that this is a unique partnership, not only from the funding sources, the many funding sources that are here. As the commissioner has mentioned, it's a city, county-wide effort to help fund, along with PHFA. And years ago, when I was here and we started these, we knew that they just had to keep going, and here we are. We're still at it. Tri-County Housing took the initiative years ago to get this going, now with the leadership of Gary Lenker, and a unique partnership with Habitat for Humanity that I don't think has ever been done before, to have these 2 nonprofits work together to accomplish this goal. And the theme of attainable, safe housing is a goal of the City of Harrisburg, as it is with every community, society, that we want to make sure that people are able to attain a home, whether through home ownership, which we're doing here, and through other means, to make sure that they have the ability to have safe, quality housing. And that's what we're doing right here with this project. From the city's point of view, and for these new 3 homeowners, they also get the advantage of having our local economic revitalization tax abatement that goes along with these properties. So they are going to be recipients of our LRTA, which means 10-year of tax abatement, property tax abatement on these properties of the new construction that's on there. So we're very happy to be able to assist these homeowners in that manner as well. So not only are they putting their sweat equity in there to get a home with our partners, but also to take advantage of that tax abatement. I want to, again, thank our partners. This is an awesome day. I know the mayor wishes he could be here to see it, because we are taking these blocks back, block by block, with the help of our partners. Tri-County Housing is also working very hard in Mulder Square, and I know Yinka has some other ideas for other areas of the city. So this is just the beginning. So we're going to keep going, and hopefully we'll be revitalizing other neighborhoods as well in the same manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jackie. Again, unfortunately, with the budget discussions, Senator DeSanto sends his regret. The Senate is in session and is unable to be with us, but I have to publicly acknowledge Senator DeSanto, because when my board president and I, Rob Keith, sat down with him shortly after he was elected to talk to him about our organization's long-term involvement and what we do here in the city and the county, one of the first things he said to me was, "Did you ever consider working with Habitat?" Now, he in his private sector life had a long-standing involvement, his organization, of building homes in conjunction with Habitat. And that was one of the first people that got me thinking about this partnership. So I want to acknowledge him, even though he's not here. Again, Representative Patty Kim, the House is in session. She sends her regrets, but we have Victoria Moretta, her legislative assistant, who is here, and she has agreed to say a few words. Victoria.
Good morning. Patty does send her unfortunate apologies for not being able to be here today. Patty wants to thank and welcome all of Harrisburg, and a sincere thank you to everyone that has helped build these homes. This is a huge boost and blessing for our neighborhood, and especially for the entire city of Harrisburg. We want to thank Habitat of Humanity, Tri-County, and Woods Memorial Presbyterian Church for all the hard work and investing into Harrisburg. And special thank you to the 160 volunteers that are out here helping us. And we are here to continue and show our support. Thank you.
We're fortunate to have representative of the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency here with us. The Executive Director, Brian Hudson, sends his regrets, but his Director of Government Affairs, Bill Fogarty, is here. We appreciate that, and he's going to say a few words. Bill?
Thank you, Gary. Actually, I want to sort of clarify some things. About 10 years ago, Gary was on our board, and Jackie Parker was on our board. And to follow up on what Commissioner Hardwick said, we have to make decisions about where we're going to fund things, and PHFA earns money, and the board of directors makes decisions about where they're going to put that money. So those homes up there that were initially built in Mount Pleasant were made possible by a $1 million grant for the Mount Pleasant community. So thank you, Gary and Jackie, for making that decision 10 years ago, which makes these homes possible today. I want to thank the Habitat for Humanity, Yinka, for his work here with Gary, making this possible, and the Woods Memorial Presbyterian Church and all the amazing volunteers, the donors that make Habitat for Humanity possible. I think this serves as an incredible example of what we can do when we partner with different groups across the state, and it really shows how things get done locally. And I think it also complements many of the things that we've done in Harrisburg. We have about 100, I took a look this morning before I came over here. We have about $100 million in investment in Harrisburg right now. And I'm sure with Gary Lanker on our board, there's going to be maybe a few more $1 million invested in Harrisburg. And lastly, I want to wish you guys good luck as you move forward over the next week or two to get these places done. Thank you very much for the invitation today.
You're welcome. Thank you. I also would be remiss if I didn't mention that part of our partnership was Habitat assisting and finding the buyers for these homes. And they have a unique program of how they go about that. Yinka and I spoke at a number of the home buyer counseling classes that Tri-County Community Action puts on. And out of that and some other effort that he did, there is a pool of interested clients. I understand there is one definite buyer that's been qualified. And just for the benefit of the group, we're hoping to sell these homes somewhere around $100,000, which, let me just tell you, in today's construction cost world, it's in the $160,000 to $170,000 range to build something like this. A 4-bedroom, full bath, 2 half baths, energy efficient home, and we're going to be able to sell them for around $100,000. Now at this time I want to introduce Mark Toto, the president of the Home Builders Association Metropolitan Harrisburg, an organization that I had a very close tie to over the years, and they have been big supporters of our organization through their community service fund. So Mark, would you come forward?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. I'll be brief so that we don't get rained on. We were very excited as the Home Builders Association of Metropolitan Harrisburg when Gary, through Tri-County Housing, came to us and said, we have a project, we think it's unique, we've partnered with Habitat, and we would like to know if we could petition the Home Builders Community Service Fund for a donation. It was a very small donation, but I think what you're seeing here today, through everyone in the community coming together, you're witnessing what will be the American dream, home ownership for those people who want it so dearly and sometimes may not be able to afford it. I won't take up much more time other than to say I think the value of what's going on here today in this neighborhood and this community would not be fully recognized for years to come. In addition to the fellowship by these young folks who have come out from their church today to put their time and labor in to create something really phenomenal. 3 houses in 5 days. We are proud as the Home Builders Association of Harrisburg to be a small part of this, and thank you for having us here today.
And lastly, and most importantly, Yinka Day Subokin, the Executive Director of Harrisburg, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Harrisburg, and he does have a youth representative from the Woodworks Mission Group or several that he would like to introduce. Yinka.
Okay, so good morning. And
Good morning.
thank you guys all for being here. This has been a long time coming. Our Harrisburg Habitat affiliate was first contacted by, or reached out to the Woods Memorial Church back in September of about 2017. And around that same time is when Gary and I were talking about what we could do and what we could do to partner together in the area. And as we began to discuss 33 years of the Woodswork group coming out and building on trips such as these up and down the East Coast, as was mentioned, we realized that we had to bring them here to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Dauphin County. And because of the stakeholders we were able to bring to the table, we have what you see here today. So obviously, we have our policymakers from the county, state, and local level, as was discussed. We have nonprofits, just like Tri-County, Gary and I, and Habitat for Humanity, but as well, we're working with Community Action Agency, we're working with the YMCA, we mentioned the West Shore Christian Academy, Harrisburg Community College is also helping us out. Local McDonald's are helping us out with various different things. So there's a lot of partners in play right now that are going to make this happen. And of course, we have our corporate sponsors who contribute not only monetarily, but they also resources and building materials and their time and labor to projects such as these. And it's really the only way Habitat is able to undertake projects. However, I would say the only way the Habitat model is able to provide quality, affordable housing is through the benefit of dedicated and skilled volunteers, which allows us, as Gary mentioned, to subsidize the cost of the housing. What is most exciting about this project is behind me, you'll see 150, they're not all here, 150 high school students working with us who could have been doing anything, this summer. And I would say, I don't really remember what I did in the summers between, my high school times. So, this is a testament to them, so thank you to them. But the three young adults who will follow me are on track to use this trip as a catapult to do even bigger and better things in communities around the country, let alone around the world. So I'd like to introduce you to Lizzie, Aaron, and Annabelle, who are going to come up and tell us about why they came here this summer. All right.
Hi there. Thank you all for coming out today. I just want to say thank you to all the parties involved in making all of this possible. If it wasn't for everyone pulling their weight in the different aspects of the trip, none of this would come together in such an incredible way. I also wanted to say thank you to all the people who are making this their full-time job. I took on the chair as Woodswork this year, and it was a one-year commitment. But for everyone who does this for their full-time job year after year, I really appreciate that and everything you do for the people who are less fortunate than the rest of us. I also want to thank all the kids that are out here that gave up more than a week of their summer to see a different perspective of life and maybe people who aren't as privileged as them. So just thank you to them. Do you have anything to say?
We'd also really like to just thank the whole community of Harrisburg and all, as Izzy says, the help that we've received. It's been incredible to be surrounded by such loving people who are so excited as we are to bring new opportunities for people who might need them right now. And so, yeah, we really want to thank everyone who's helped us, and we are all having such an incredible time being able to help rebuild a community with you guys.
Hi. So the way I see it, when we're given an opportunity to help others and be the hands and feet of God, then we really have to take that. And we really just want to thank you guys. And that's really what we're trying to do here is better the community and help others and make everything better. So thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
All right.
I just want to wrap up and acknowledge we have a number of the board of directors of Tri-County Housing here. Behind me, one of our advisors, George Connor, with the Dauphin County Community Economic Development, a big supporter of ours. We have two members of the community who serve on my board, Pete Kaler. Raise your hand, Pete. Long time person in this community. And next to him is Juliet Johnson. She joined our board last year. Thank you, Juliet. And we also have Jennifer Wintermeyer, the Executive Director of Tri-County Community Action. Thank you for being here. I would also be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my cohort, Darrell Livingston, who I work with and does a great job, so thank you. Again, just in summary, out of this effort, I got a phone call yesterday. I see the gentleman standing in the back there, Dave Patton with City Codes, and called me about this blighted property in the next block here, which our organization happens to own the far side, 1433. This side is owned from, you know, some dude in Florida or wherever, out of state owner. But he called me and said, look, we'd like to tear that property down. Are you interested in that? I said, heavens, yes. So with the help of the city and their in-house crew, that property is going to be getting torn down here in the next month or so. So again, what we have done here over a period of time continues to make a significant impact, slowly but surely. And I see Roy Christ is here. He also serves as an advisor on my board. Thank you, Roy, for your assistance. So now we'll turn it open. Any questions? Any questions anybody has, or any of the media will be hanging here for a period of time and be happy to talk to you. And thanks again, everybody, for coming out. We really appreciate it.